Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Threads 2017. My name is Jasmine St. Hilaire, and I am Casa Loma's new Student Association Director and this year's 2017 Logistic Team Lead. What an amazing day this is. I think I speak for my fellow classmates when I say it is an absolute honor to be spending today with all of you, our esteemed fashion industry partners, our amazing staff and faculty at George Brown College School of Fashion Studies, high school graduates who might be considering fashion as a career, and our friends and family who have come out to support us. Thank you all. Graduation is a celebration of a rite of passage, and we enter into a fashion industry that is in a paradigm shift. On April 24th, 2013, the Rana Plaza collapsed in Dhaka, Bangladesh, and it brought the world's attention to workers' safety. Yesterday, every year on Fashion Revolution Day, people get together to honor the 1,135 lost garment workers' lives and continue to inspire calls to action for the change for the better in our global fashion industry. We believe in a fashion industry which values people, those who design and those who make our clothes. In an age of interconnectivity and consumerism and fast fashion tragedies, we remember deliberately every day that we can create a revolutionary path for fashion to bring change for the better. With open minds, open discussion, and convergence of ideas, we, GBC School of Fashion Studies graduates, will bring everyone in fashion value chain together. We will help raise awareness through transparency, show the world that change is possible, and celebrate all those involved in creating a more sustainable fashion future. We believe in our fashion industry. I'd like to introduce our first speaker, a fashion business industry graduate, Hillary.
Thank you. And thank you everybody for joining us here at Threads 2017. Today is such an exciting day for everyone involved, myself included, and everyone here should be excited and proud of what today is. Today is a culmination of years of hard work, and you can really feel it. But while what I'm sure is also a healthy dose of anxiety and stress for the students involved, and this excitement, we should take time to reflect on the idea that today is also a culmination of small moments. Moments when we supported each other, which made us closer as a team. Moments when we had to do it ourselves, which made us closer to who we are today. Moments of victory and success, which we celebrated. And moments of failure, which we learned from. So let us give thanks to the moments, not forgetting how we got here, how I got here. So being a mature student, the business industry diploma was the first time I had seen a program geared towards the entrepreneur in fashion. With years of retail and customer service experience, I was bored of seeing the same issues, always told what to do by the company or by the product, traveling a lot, being busy, but I still wanted to be an entrepreneur, and that spirit still was inside me. So naturally, I came to the conclusion that if I wanted to be my own boss, I needed to take time and the training to be the best boss I've ever had. That's where George Brown College came into my journey. For some, George Brown College is part of a very specific plan, a connection of A to C via B. For others, it's more of an expedition for C, hoping to find it through B. For me, it was a complete redirection. I originally had a really focused and narrow plan of my life after college, but that was only because I had a very narrow idea of what was available in the fashion industry. All my past experience being filtered and directed by a large company and trying to fit the mold. George Brown College, at the time, was part of a checklist. Phase 1, my idea. Phase 2, go to school. Phase 3, hopefully profit. 2 years and some very inspiring teachers later, I've completely changed course. I learned how much my career is under my control if I take ownership of it, and that success is not measured purely by the bottom line, although that is very important. It's also by my satisfaction in myself. Given the right tools, I've been able to find a balance that works for me, with my own business in the early days that allows me to be creative, be flexible, give back to charity, and overall be satisfied. But in every scenario that I mentioned, including my own, George Brown College was the filter and the path. These small moments I spoke of earlier are like drops of water that trickle and gain momentum, all guided by that similar path. Here at George Brown College in the fashion studies, the time is now. The levee bursts tonight. We gain our own momentum and all head out into the world of fashion, down our own paths. While we all take different directions, we may be a force for change. Thank you.
Thank you, Hillary, for sharing your inspiring words. I'd like to introduce our next speaker, International Fashion Management graduate, Alex Garcia.
Hi, everyone, and welcome again. 3 years ago, I started the Fashion Management Diploma program without knowing how this decision will change my life forever. Since the beginning, I felt a special connection with the George Brown College, my peers, my professors, staff, and all the people that I met here. During the 2 previous years, I was involved in our college community, working in 3 different departments as a peer leader, peer coach, and tutor, where I assisted students with any challenges related to our courses program. It was an incredible experience for me because I developed skills that I thought I didn't have before. I embraced all interactions, I listened, I spoke out, and I supported. And wow, I did ever learn balanced multiple current responsibilities. After I graduated with a fashion management program, I decided to start the International Fashion Management Postgrad Certificate. I had the opportunity to continue working at our college, doing the same as I did in the previous 2 years. I thoroughly enjoyed supporting students in courses that I have taken, answering the same questions that I had, in connecting with my peers, and so many of you are here today. I have gained so much personally and academically. I can't thank you all enough for what you have brought to my life. I have spent 3 years with George Brown College of Fashion Studies. What an incredible experience it has been learning and working here. I can say without any doubt that all you have helped me in my success. You have made me be more creative in explaining certain topics in an easier way. I've discovered that I'm a very patient person, and I have such an appreciation for everyone's uniqueness and everyone learning at their own pace, in their own way. Here, with you all, I have gained not only experience, but also a new gift that I will carry for the rest of my life. Lastly, I want to say thank you very much for all my peers, teachers, and GBC staff for giving me the enormous support during these 3 years, trusting in me as a peer leader and giving me the most incredible moment in my life. I'm totally grateful to all of you. I wish you all the best and great successes in your fashion future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alex, for your kind words. Next, I'd like to introduce Iris, who will be speaking on behalf of the Fashions Techniques and Design course.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this evening at the Threads 2017 show. It's truly a pleasure to have everyone here with us. So as a student here at our School of Fashion, I had the opportunity to enter a design competition for students sponsored by the Fur Council of Canada, as well as the International Fur Federation. So for those who don't know, Remix is a student competition where students design fur garments involving the top fashion design schools across the country. And this year, over 30 design schools entered. Knowing I would be competing against great talent, I entered the contest, worked day and night alongside my peers and my teachers. With a lot of hard work and needed encouragement, I competed against Canada's best upcoming designers, and I won. So I am Thank you. So I am the winner of the Remix 2017 Fur Design Competition and your Canadian representative. So as a winner, I had the opportunity to compete internationally and bring Canada on an international scale. So at the Remix International Fur Competition in Milan, Italy during Fashion Week. So top 10 countries competed all over the world, and I'm proud to say that Canada was one of the top 10. My designs specifically. Thank you. So I recently returned from Milan Fashion Week, where I showed alongside renowned design schools like Central St. Martin's, Luxon Academy of Fine Arts, Atelier Chandon Savard, and the Bunka Fashion Graduate University, just to name a few. Really what an honor it has been to compete against such great talent and to be one of those people representing. So my accomplishments could not have been possible without the passion and dedication of the students, staff, and teachers here at George Brown College. I couldn't have done it without you, really, and everyone knows who you are. This evening you will see my winning designs on our Fashion Fusion runway, as well as some spectacular work from my peers who really have exceeded the realm of talent. So really sit back and enjoy, because it's going to be an amazing show. A special thank you to the Threads committee for inviting me to speak this evening, and for all of their hard work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Iris, for speaking, and what a great job you've done. Next, we'd like to have Sharika DaCosta come up and speak on behalf of the Fashion Management Studies, and she's also on the logistics team for the Threads 2017 committee.
Thank you, Jasmine, and thank you everyone for joining us today at Threads 2017. As a part of our planning committee, as Jasmine mentioned, our team has done unstoppable hard work to make this event as remarkable as it is today. And I just want to take this moment to congratulate all of our GBC fashion graduates for successfully completing the term. From stressful nights of working on assignments and studying, we can finally say we did it. I've met some amazingly talented individuals in the last 2 years in the fashion management, business, design, and international management programs, which you see showcased in our video slide, you see in our studio, and you'll see in our Fashion Fusion show. It awes me to see the various talents we have amongst our programs, which goes hand in hand with our theme, Fashion Fusion. Fashion Fusion. Fusing together many different forms of talent and bringing it into this one grand event. My first choice in school was to do social work, and when I realized that wasn't the path for me, I decided to explore the world of fashion by volunteering and doing things such as Fashion Week and Mercedes-Benz Startup. This experience inspired me to explore my education in fashion. With the outstanding reviews I constantly heard and the graduate success from George Brown College, this was my first and my only choice. And while we often think of design when we think of studying fashion, there's many more that fashion studying takes in the fashion management program, which is closely linked to business. We learn how to sew, we learn logistics, we learn how to use Adobe, we create 6-month plans, we do accounting, and many, many more. As I reflect back at the 2 years, and I realize how rewarding and beneficial school really is, I can carry all these skills forward to all my journeys. Now I'm here, 2 years later, waiting and anticipating my diploma in hand. And I couldn't be happier about my accomplishment, and I hope all the graduates are as well. I just want to thank you guys all for coming, and I want to thank the committee for joining us, for planning this entire event, and I want to thank you guys for all joining us, and all the faculty who have taught us over the 2 years, and I hope you guys really enjoy yourself tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much for speaking, Sharika. Can we give all of our speakers another round of applause? They were all amazing. Next, I would like to introduce our chair of George Brown College School of Fashion, Marilyn McNeil Morin, to speak some more.
Thank you, Jasmine. And thank you to our graduates who spoke to us tonight. We appreciate you sharing your heartfelt words with us. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. We thought it might be a little darker by now, but it actually feels like the middle of summer. So we're delighted that you've chosen to join us here for Threads 2017. I see many familiar faces, industry partners, faculty, staff, students, family and friends. And we thank all of you for being here with us tonight. Today we showcase the talents of our graduating class of 2017 to the fashion industry in our fashion show, Fashion Fusion. You will see garments that embody the energy and diversity of George Brown College. And all of the garments that you see have been designed and made by our students. To mark Fashion Revolution Day, our designers also paid homage to the Rana Plaza tragedy with a segment of upcycled t-shirts. We hope that everyone will have an opportunity to meet with many of our graduates. And I'd like to just acknowledge a few of our guests who are here with us from George Brown College. We have our Chancellor, Sally Horsfall-Eaton. And her husband, and President of George Brown College, Ann Sato. The Dean of the Center for Arts, Design, and Information Technology, Luigi Ferrara. The VP of Human Resources, Leslie Quinlan. Haven't seen her, but I know she's here. Our George Brown School of Fashion faculty and staff. Michelle Walker, our Field Education Coordinator. A lot of our industry partners know her. So I'd like to acknowledge that it takes a lot of people to put this together, and partly our students. The faculty member who is in charge of the entire event is Winnie Leong. And the fashion show was led by Cameron Jeffrey. So we're getting close to having a chance to see the show, but I'd like to also acknowledge our industry partners. We're grateful for all the connections and continued relationships we have with so many wonderful people who join us from the industry, both seasoned and new. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your continuing interest in our students and your confidence in George Brown College to recruit our graduates. And it's amazing how many were here today to take part in our Fashion Works event, which happened just prior to this. We had over 20 companies who showcased to recruit our graduates. So thank you so much for that. And fashion graduates may enjoy this transition, this rite of passage into the fashion industry. We are excited by your future prospects to be those agents of change for a sustainable fashion industry. From the faculty and staff here at George Brown College, we wish you well with your next phase of life, your fashion career, and to determine your path in this exciting and rewarding industry. Enjoy your journey. Next, Jasmine will introduce our honored guest speaker.
This GBC fashion management alumni has immersed herself in fashion styling for 15 years and is known as one of the most influential forces working in the fashion industry today. Nominated for valedictorian by her peers based on her hard work despite any challenges, she successfully graduated and moved to New York City to take on the fashion capital of the world, working with pop stars and actresses to create their images off and on camera. A proud Toronto native and up for another challenge, she is back making a name for herself amongst artists and brands in Toronto, New York, and Atlanta. Working in films and television industries on movies such as RoboCop and shows like Suits and Defiance, and as a visual display at Saks Fifth Avenue, Canada. She brings her classy yet funky, eclectic, vintage style movement to Toronto. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our celebrity stylist and my mentor, Janelle McCoy.
Wow, thank you so much, Jasmine. You blew me away with that. Good evening, everybody. My name is Janelle McCoy. I graduated in 2009 from the fashion management program. A little bit about my story. Growing up was very difficult for me, especially when it came on to education. I wasn't the brightest person in elementary school. When I got into high school, I basically failed pretty much everything. Seeing a lot of your peers and so forth pass you by and so forth, it gets really discouraging. And I will never forget, when I was in grade 11, I had dreams about going into college, dreams about going into university. And when I got into grade 12, I went and spoke to my guidance counselor. And she basically turned to me and told me, you know what, these grades are not gonna cut it. You will never get into college, you would never get into university. And there's basically no hope. I graduated high school with just barely, I'd say a 55 or 60. And I always knew that I always wanted to be into fashion. I always felt the way that I would express myself was through what I was wearing. I was so scared to talk to people. It was so challenging for me. And I remember I went to a party one time and I was wearing these pearls around my neck, these lime green pants, and this white shirt. And she stopped me and she was just like, "Are you a wardrobe stylist?" And I didn't know what that was. And she brought me on a shoot, and this is something that I loved. I really wanted to continue it. I decided to start my education in college and went to a specific college, which I will not name, and failed that college. I failed that college 5 times. I was put on academic probation. I took international business, I took fashion management, I took general arts and science because that's what my guidance counselor told me to do, and was on OSAP. I basically pleaded with OSAP, letting them know, you know what, I don't know what's going on. I'm not doing well in school, and I really want to succeed. After failing so many times, I was like, you know what, forget this. I'm just gonna focus on styling. And me and my stylist partner decided to take pictures of ourselves and post them up on social media, and that's how we created a movement. Once I reached maybe 3 years in styling, I decided to give school one more chance. And somebody told me to go to George Brown College. I love the fact of it being downtown and being amongst just this fashion vibe that was there. And got into the fashion management program. The first week I was there, I walked into the guidance counselor's office and spoke to my guidance counselor. I told her, you know what? I have so much issues in learning. I want to really do good in this program. And the guidance counselor turned to me and she's just like, have you ever been tested for a learning difference? And I looked at her and was like, nope, I'm 23 years old. And she's just like, that's crazy. And long story short, she brought a psychologist in, tested me, and found out that I had dyslexia. And with the help of her, my teachers, I was able to succeed. Things like writing in colored pens, because color stimulates my mind. Also, listening to instrumentals whenever I'm studying, because I was able to read whatever it is on the paper, make that into a song. The next day, I would be able to write a test. Long story short, I graduated with A's and B's. I was nominated for valedictorian at George Brown in 2009. I got an internship at BET Television Network in New York City. Came back and got into the film and television industry. So I worked on movies like RoboCop, shows like Suits. Once I reached a certain plateau in the styling career, I was just like, you know what? I want to try something different, and got an opportunity to be a visual display artist at Harry Rosen. And that's where they taught me everything I needed to know about menswear. Today, I'm a visual display lead for menswear at Saks Fifth Avenue. I'm also a motivational speaker and a dyslexia advocate, because at the end of the day, life was not easy for me. And I just want to show all of you that there is light at the end of the tunnel. So, thank you. So for all of the graduating class, or even people thinking about going back to school, just know it's hard. It's definitely hard. But with perseverance and determination, you can definitely make it. Trust me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dorian. It was very motivating to hear from you. I really appreciate you sharing your story with us. Thank you. So it's now getting countdown to showtime. So please put your hands together and welcome Fashion Fusion 2017, our George Brown graduate fashion show.
a sight for my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight for my soul. There goes a sight for my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. There goes a sight for my soul. I think a fall angel just walked by. 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 There goes a sight for my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight for my. There goes a sight. There goes a sight, there goes a sight.
fashion. Yes. We're so proud of our students. We hope you all enjoyed the show, and we appreciate that you were here and you helped to make Threads a success. Thanks. We look forward to hosting you again for Threads 2018.